LaMelo Ball might just be the blueprint for how a viral high school prodigy can actually make it in the NBA. Back at Chino Hills, he pulled from the logo like it was layup lines. Then he dropped 92 in one game, and the internet detonated. Most players would kill for 92 points across an entire season, and LaMelo did it in a single night. As soon as the stat line hit Twitter, people went crazy. And overnight, LaMelo went from Lonzo's little brother to the internet's favorite baller. The real turning point came in 2019 when he joined Australia's National Basketball League. He wasn't just a mixtape merchant anymore. In Australia, he ran a team, stacked back-to-back triple-doubles, and made scouts grab the red Sharpie. By 2020, the Charlotte Hornets drafted him 3rd overall, and he wasted no time making people look silly for doubting him. He won Rookie of the Year in 2021, became an All-Star by 20, and brought a level of flair that made even casual fans tune into Hornets games. And then came the scoring explosion. LaMelo notched a career-high 50 points in a single game against the Bucks, silencing anyone who doubted his ability to take over offensively. It wasn't just the number, it was how he did it. Step-back threes, crafty finishes, and an unwavering confidence that reminded everyone why he's a must-watch basketball player. Beyond his flashy passes and fearless shot selection, he etched his name into history by becoming one of the youngest players ever to reach 1,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 1,000 assists. Sure, his shot selection still makes coaches want to pull their hair out, but when he drops a no-look, behind-the-back dime the very next play, all is forgiven. From viral mixtapes to the face of an NBA franchise, LaMelo Ball proved that some prodigies don't just live up to the hype. They take the hype, run with it, and throw it behind their back for an alley-oop. Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson wasn't just a high school basketball player. He was basically the internet's favorite dunk machine. At Spartanburg Day School in South Carolina, his dunks looked like something out of an NBA 2K highlight reel. We're talking about a 6'6", 280-pound teenager who could jump out of the gym. Clips of him throwing down windmills and tomahawks against kids half his size spread across Instagram and YouTube like wildfire. He became the must-watch high school player in the country. When he got to Duke, the hype only grew. In his very first game, he scored 28 points in just 23 minutes, and every dunk went straight to SportsCenter. Then his Nike exploded versus UNC. Obama literally pointed and said, "His shoe broke," and Wall Street briefly did a sympathy limp. Despite the scare, Zion went number 1 overall to the New Orleans Pelicans in 2019, and when he finally hit the NBA floor, he didn't disappoint. In his debut, he scored 17 straight points in just over 3 minutes. Of course, the story hasn't been all smooth. Injuries and fitness questions have kept him from dominating the way people expected, and sometimes he trends more for off-court drama than basketball. But even with the setbacks, Zion has already become an all-star and one of the most electrifying young players in the league. When healthy, he's a walking highlight reel, and proof that some viral prodigies can live up to the hype, even if the journey includes shattered shoes, stunned presidents, and fans holding their jaws the entire way. Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards didn't just arrive in the NBA, he announced himself like he was starring in his own action movie. Back in high school at Holy Spirit Prep in Atlanta, he was already playing like a pro. He had the size, the hops, and the confidence of a 10-year vet. And his mixtapes made it look like he was dunking on kids who hadn't even hit their growth spurt yet. When he committed to Georgia instead of joining a powerhouse like Kentucky or Duke, fans were shocked. Some thought it was career suicide, but Ant explained, saying, "I pray to God that it will inspire a hometown kid to stay at home and live out their dream at home and not go to another school." That line instantly made him a hometown hero. At Georgia, he showed flashes of being unstoppable. One night, he dropped 33 points in one half against Michigan State. His performance went viral, with fans on the internet commenting on his superhuman athleticism. People started saying, "Ant-Man is out here hooping like he's trying to get drafted by the Avengers." And honestly, that's about right. Edwards' highlight reels look like superhero training montages. The Timberwolves took him number 1 overall in 2020, and while some doubters wondered if he was ready, Ant quickly proved he wasn't just ready, he was the show. From poster dunks to clutch shots, he gave Minnesota fans something they hadn't had in years: hope, excitement, and occasional jaw cramps from watching him fly. And then came the interviews. Edwards is as funny as he is fearless. Who else admits during Rookie Media Day that they'd drop basketball in a second if the NFL called? Or casually says he doesn't really watch basketball because he's too busy with Call of Duty? Fans ate it up. Now, he's not just the face of the Timberwolves, he's becoming one of the faces of the league. He made the All-Star team, led Minnesota to a deep playoff run, and in true Ant fashion, has made various public statements that demonstrate his allegiance to the Timberwolves and the state. After beating Denver, he told Barkley to bring ya ass to Minnesota, which became an actual tourism hook. That's star power and economic development. From mixtape monster to NBA superstar, Anthony Edwards is proof that not every prodigy fizzles out. Some just keep leveling up. Cade Cunningham. Cade plays chess at NBA speed, low pulse, high IQ, and always 2 passes ahead. At Montverde Academy, he wasn't just another top recruit. He was the guy who made a team full of 5 stars look like his supporting cast. Scouts loved his size, his vision, and his ability to control the game without ever seeming rushed. If LaMelo was all speed and Zion was all power, Cade was the one making it look smooth and effortless, like he had the cheat codes for composure installed at birth. By the time he got to Oklahoma State, the hype was already real. And he delivered. Cade averaged 20 points as a freshman, hit clutch shots all season, and proved he could be trusted with the ball in the final minute. His calm demeanor earned him the nickname, the Silent Killer, though his on-court moves were anything but quiet. More like a ninja with a basketball, silently plotting while leaving defenders wondering what just happened. The Detroit Pistons took him first overall in 2021, and while injuries slowed him down early, flashes of brilliance kept the excitement alive. Cade isn't the guy jumping out of the gym or throwing down viral dunks, but when you see him dissect a defense with perfect reads, you realize why the Pistons are building their future around him. Of course, social media had its moments too. In December 2021, after he hit a game-winning shot against the Orlando Magic, Cade tweeted, "Big-time players make big-time plays." Simple, that mix of confidence and calm only made him more appealing as the number 1 pick, proving you can dominate without ever yelling, "Look at me." He might not have the non-stop highlights of some of his peers, but Cade's game is like a slow-burn movie. You stick around, and by the end, you realize you've watched something truly special. You might even wonder why you didn't notice the brilliance quietly happening all along. Jalen Green. Jalen Green exploded onto the basketball scene with a combination of size, speed, and leaping ability that made you do a double take. Back in high school at San Joaquin Memorial in Fresno, California, he wasn't just scoring points. He was throwing down dunks that looked like they belonged in a video game. Defenders chased him like they were buffering, a step behind and glitching. Coaches and fans immediately knew they were watching something special. The kind of player who made you check if he installed springs in his sneakers. Instead of following the traditional college route, Green made the bold decision to join the NBA G League Ignite straight out of high school. Many questioned the move at first. Could a teenager really compete against grown men? Green answered that question with flair. He averaged 17 points per game, showed off ridiculous athleticism, and demonstrated that he could score, pass, and finish at a professional level. Even skeptics had to admit, the hype was real. By 2021, the Houston Rockets selected him number 2 overall in the NBA draft, and Green wasted no time making an impact. Between thunderous dunks, step-back threes, and lightning-fast fast-break finishes, he became the kind of player who made every highlight reel a must-watch. Even in his rookie season, he showed glimpses of the scoring and explosiveness that made him a prodigy in the first place, basically turning defenses into a real-life game of Where's Waldo? Off the court, Green's personality shines just as brightly. Playful, confident, and approachable, he embraces the spotlight while staying focused on his craft. His energy and charisma make him someone fans can rally behind, both on social media and in the arena. And if you catch him joking around in interviews or locker room clips, you might start to suspect that this prodigy isn't just defying gravity, he's having fun doing it. Scottie Barnes. When you think of a player who can seemingly do it all on a basketball court, Scottie Barnes immediately comes to mind. From the moment he stepped onto the high school scene, It was clear he wasn't just another talented athlete. He was a superstar who could impact every part of the game and probably organize a fantasy basketball league for fun while doing it. At Montverde Academy in Florida, Barnes was already showing a level of versatility that made scouts drool. A 6'9" forward who could guard multiple positions, handle the ball like a point guard, and finish around the rim with authority. He was the complete package. Barnes took his talents to Florida State, where he continued to turn heads. He wasn't just scoring points, he was racking up rebounds, assists, and steals like he was trying to win every stat category simultaneously. In 2021, the Toronto Raptors made him the number 4 pick in the NBA draft, and he quickly showed that his game translates perfectly to the professional level. His energy, defensive prowess, and willingness to do the dirty work made him a fan favorite overnight. Barnes even won Rookie of the Year, proving that hustle, versatility, and a little bit of flair can make you indispensable. If the NBA had a Swiss Army stat column, Scotty would lead the league. R.J. Barrett. R.J. Barrett's rise felt like watching a future star in fast forward. At Montverde Academy in Florida, he was already stacking highlight reels like it was a hobby. Smooth jumpers, crazy drives, and a scoring ability that seemed almost effortless made him one of the most hyped prospects in the country. By the time he got to Duke, people weren't just watching him play. They were watching the future of the NBA unfold in real time. At Duke, Barrett continued to dominate. He averaged 22 points per game as a freshman, hitting clutch shots and proving he could perform under pressure. His smooth style earned him the nickname, the Canadian Connection, though we're still waiting for the official maple syrup handshake to go with it. The New York Knicks made him the number 3 pick in the 2019 NBA draft, and from day one, Barrett showed he belonged. He brought a mix of scoring, court vision, and defensive effort that made fans feel like the team had finally found a cornerstone. Even when things got rough, like a shooting slump or a tough loss, Barrett stayed composed, letting his game speak louder than the chatter. And let's be honest, if calm under pressure were an Olympic sport, RJ might already have a gold medal. In 2023, Barrett was traded to the Toronto Raptors, and suddenly, Raptors games had a new MVP to watch. His scoring and playmaking added a new spark to the team, and Raptors fans joked that he was basically delivering maple-flavored highlight reels every night. Off the court, Barrett keeps things grounded. He's not constantly posting viral moments or outrageous antics. Instead, his growth and work ethic are his main headlines. But that doesn't mean he isn't relatable. Not loud, just steady, the kind of guy who hands you a protein bar and then quietly drops 25. RJ Barrett is proof that some prodigies don't need flashy stunts to succeed. They combine skill, discipline, and consistency, and over time, the hype catches up with reality. Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton didn't burst onto the scene with flashy dunks or viral mixtapes. Instead, he arrived like a magician, quietly setting up the trick while everyone else was distracted. At Oshkosh North High School, he averaged 22.9 points and 6.2 assists per game in his senior year, showing that he could score, create, and run the floor like a seasoned pro. He even dropped a career-high 42 points in one game and added a 31-point outing in the state championship, proving he could turn it up when the spotlight was brightest. Halliburton wasn't about hype. He was about efficiency, intelligence, and making everyone around him better. He then moved to Iowa State College, where he continued to impress. On January 4, 2020, he recorded a triple-double with 22 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists, solidifying his reputation as a player who could impact the game in every possible way. Drafted 12th overall in 2020 by the Sacramento Kings, Halliburton quickly proved that you don't need highlight reel dunks to turn heads. His clutch threes, smart decision-making, and ability to control the pace made him one of the league's most promising young point guards. Analysts joked he could probably run a whole basketball team blindfolded, and fans were ready to sign up for season tickets just to watch him think 5 moves ahead. In 2022, he was traded to the Indiana Pacers, becoming the centerpiece of their rebuild. He orchestrates like a conductor, and in 2025, he reached Game 7 of the finals before a brutal Achilles tear. The mind was willing. The tendon filed an objection. Off the court, Halliburton is just as grounded, approachable, Witty and smart, he's the kind of player who could probably win a board game against the entire locker room and still make it look casual. Fans love that he lets his game do the talking, even if he occasionally drops a one-liner in interviews that shows he's human, and maybe a little cheeky too. Trae Young. Trae Young stepped onto the court with the confidence of someone who had already seen the future. And spoiler alert, the future included a lot of deep threes. At Norman North High School in Oklahoma, he wasn't just scoring. He was turning defenses inside out with crossovers, step-back jumpers, and passes that looked like they belonged in a video game. Scouts and fans started taking notice, and highlight reels of Young's ridiculous handles quickly went viral on Instagram and YouTube. College at Oklahoma only amplified the hype. In his freshman season, he averaged 27.4 points and 8.7 assists per game, becoming one of the most electrifying guards in the nation. His ability to shoot from near half-court and thread passes through defenders made it obvious that he was something special. The Atlanta Hawks took him 5th overall in the 2018 NBA draft, and he wasted no time making his mark. Young quickly became the centerpiece of the Hawks' offense. He transformed Atlanta into a legitimate contender, making fans feel like they were watching a highlight reel in real time every night. By 2021, he had Atlanta in the East Finals, bombing from the logo and nutmegging bigs like it was a brand partnership. Ja Morant. Ja Morant didn't just arrive on the basketball scene. He landed like a rocket, leaving everyone staring at the sky and wondering what just happened. At Crestwood High School in South Carolina, he wasn't the tallest kid in the gym, but what he lacked in height, he more than made up for with explosiveness, vision, and sheer fearlessness. By the time he hit college at Murray State, Morant was already a viral player, breaking ankles and posting highlight reels that made NBA scouts stop scrolling and start taking notes. During his sophomore year at Murray State, he dropped a 30-point triple-double against Eastern Kentucky, making fans and analysts realize this kid wasn't just a scorer. He was a full-on playmaking wizard. Drafted 2nd overall by the Memphis Grizzlies in 2019, Morant wasted no time showing the NBA that all the hype was real. From sky-high alley-oops to ankle-breaking crossovers, he quickly became the kind of player that makes fans jump out of their seats. Friends argue over who had the better dunk, and casual watchers hit replay more times than they'd admit. Off the court, Morant's charisma is just as electric as his game. Between playful Instagram posts, quirky interviews, and a personality that blends confidence with a little mischief, he's someone fans feel they know, even if they've only watched him from their living room couch. Ja Morant is proof that a prodigy from the social media era can take hype, turn it into skill, and then turn skill into superstardom. He's fast, fearless, and flashy, but most importantly, he's exactly what the basketball world hoped for when the highlight reels first started rolling. At the end of the day, prodigies aren't just about hype. They're about delivering when the lights are brightest. And these players? They've taken the expectations, the pressure, and the spotlight and turned them into buckets and banners. The message is clear. The new generation isn't just here to play the game. They're here to change it.